Good morning, my wonderful people. Happy Tuesday to you. I hope everything is well. Boy, do we have to talk about Monday Night Raw last night. Wow. The first time that we've seen Cena on the follow-up of Being a Heel. Guys, you're going to need to turn your volume down because I'm going to get a little passionate this morning. So, forewarning you, this is going to get interesting. But I want to say something before I get into the show, okay? I'm not going over the entire show. The show is hot garbage. But there are some valid points that I want to bring up about the show. We're going to talk about a couple of segments in particular. First off, main event was good. But I don't know. Let me back up. Guys, on this channel here, you're entitled to your opinion, right? We live in a society today where if you have a different opinion from everybody else, or you think differently, you're casted out and you're told you're a troll, you're an idiot, you're this, that, and the other. They call you every day in the book. If you don't believe me, read some of my comments. But if you're on this channel and you are free to express your opinion no matter what it may be, I encourage that. In fact, if you have a different opinion from anybody else, say it, speak it. It's totally cool, and I respect it. No matter what, even if I disagree, it's okay to disagree. It's all right. I don't think you're an idiot. Now, I do think that if you think that what WWE is producing is great, then hey, you're entitled to that. I disagree with you wholeheartedly because this is far from great. But that's your opinion, and that's totally cool. And I'm not going to sit here and throw stones at you and call you an idiot. You know, I'm not going to do that. Look, I love you, regardless. I love you, and that's the way it is. And I just want to get that out before I even get into the show, because I know I'm going to get some heat because this trash that they are producing every single show, man. And to be this close to WrestleMania is just unreal. It is absolutely unreal, the product that they're putting on television. And I'm to the point now, and I've said this on shows, and I've said this on this channel in the past. Like, I'm convinced now they don't care about putting out a good product anymore. Like, they're just about the ads. They're about the money. They're about everything else. They don't care. They can care less about the product they're putting on camera, dude. They can care less. This is what that last night told me that. They've been saying this through their shows for the whole last year, that they don't care about their product, dude. All they care about is putting money in their pockets and going home. That's it. The writing is awful. The storylines are absolute hot garbage. And some of them are so bad, like it's hard. Like, I rage quit Raw last night, man. I mean, I turned it back on because I wanted to come on here and talk to you guys today. That is the only reason I finished Raw last night. And the main event was actually pretty decent, but only because they had two solid quality guys there at the end. You know, Finn Balor and Braun Breaker are really good talent-wise. Either one of them are fantastic on the microphone, but in the ring, in-ring work, they're both fantastic at what they do. And I feel bad for the wrestlers. I feel bad for every single person under contract for WWE right now, because nobody's safe. Nobody. They're all under the pressure of these writers that can't do any. Like, they have no. Okay, the fact that they opened up the show with Cena. Let's just start from the beginning. All right. They opened up the show with Cena last night, and I don't disagree with everything Cena said and did. I understand, you know, the whole I'm not giving you new music, I'm not giving you new attire. Like, all right, cool. Okay, I see where you're going with that. I'm not totally against everything that happened with Cena. Okay. Because that's going to be a build. This was just the first show of this was the first follow-up of him turning heel. So I'm going to take that for what it is. Now, if I'd have done this show last night, y'all would have canceled me. I'd have woke up today with no subscribers. Like, for real. I was so hot and pissed off last night. Like, I was not okay. But this morning, after, sleeping on it, I'm not 100% against the Cena segment like I was last night. There are some things I've opened my eyes to, understanding that this was the very first. My main thing about last night in the Cena segment was the end, when Cody kind of calls him a, whatever, and just walks out of the ring. And I'm like, I'm not okay with that. This was Cena's first real night as a heel. Even though he says he's not a heel, he's not a babyface, he's a human being. I kind of like that too. They did this once with Roman Reigns years back. I get it. That also saves him. But even though, they didn't mention The Rock and him selling his soul. There were some things that were left out. A lot of question marks. More question marks right now than there were yesterday. Again, I felt like they wrote this promo back in 13, and they're just doing it today, and they didn't really edit anything. But again, the way it ended with Cody coming out there and pretty much getting one over on him and just walking out of the ring, and just Cena's just standing there and doesn't even respond. Like, that's that part right there, man. That just made me just infuriated. Like, I was hot and I was pissed off. I was mad, and I'm like, this is what you do. This was your plan for the first night of Cena back on Raw. And I guarantee you too, like, the crowd last night, the crowd in Belgium was great. They held the show together. I did think sometimes it was drawn out, but look, they never get a show. In fact, this was their first time ever having a Raw there. So, hey, man, they were having the time of their life, and I get it. That's cool. I do feel like, though, they held the show together at certain times, and also broke it. And I'm going to get to that in a second, because there's something else I want to bring up a little bit later. But they held it together there, and I feel like Cena got out what he needed to get out. I understand. I don't like how they did it. I don't agree with how they did it at all. But I'm willing to take a step back and say, okay, there's a few more weeks before WrestleMania. What do they have planned? Are they going to continue to put Cody over and then just have Cena beat him at Mania? What's their plan? I don't know. I don't like last night. I don't like how it went. And I certainly don't like that fact that he just spoke how he spoke to Cena, and Cena just let him walk out of the ring and didn't do anything. That there was no response. None. And he pretty much just let Cody have it, and that was it. So, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know where they're at, but hopefully they've got a plan. They never do. A good one anyway, but we'll find out. The second thing I want to talk about is the Rhea Ripley, or we'll call it the Rhea Ripley, the women's championship match that does not have Rhea Ripley in it. They're having a contract signing, which I knew from the beginning. The minute they were doing this, I was like, we're not going to get out of this without Rhea. And of course, Io and Bianca come out there and they sign the contract, and then of course Rhea Ripley's music goes off. She walks out and pretty much beats them both up, lays them on top of each other on a table. They make her out to be, Jesus, because that's what they do with Rhea Ripley. She's unstoppable, untouchable. You can't do anything with her. She's God. So then that happens, and then she ends up signing the contract. So she pretty much put herself in there, and even the GM, Adam Pearce, is like, that's not how it works. But we all know that's how it works. You talk about entitlement, and that's why this part drives me nuts. I already don't like Rhea. But the fact that she comes in here and then does that infuriates the hell out of me. Like, this is your storyline? Like, really? None of this makes any sense. None of this. So anybody who wants a title shot can just walk up and sign a contract, whatever. Okay, how come Roman never got his with Cody? I'm going to keep going back to that. Like, you just walk into the thing and just sign the contract. Your name's not even on it. What are you signing? It's just dumb. This whole storyline is stupid. Bianca earned her title shot by winning Rumble. Or winning the Chamber. So she won the Chamber, so she gets the title shot. You don't think she's going to... What? Like, if I'm Bianca, I'm like, no, she's not in this match. And I'm making that a thing. I'm like, no, she's not in this match. If I beat Io, she can be first. She can have a shot at me. But she's not in this match. No. They're doing this because they don't have anywhere for Rhea to go. Why? Because Rhea's never on TV. Ever. She's never there. So they have nothing for her, so they have to push her into this match. It's dumb. It's so dumb. The storyline is stupid. I ain't going to talk about it no more. I'm done. The third thing I want to talk about is the Seth Rollins segment. Seth Rollins comes out to cut a promo, and this kind of goes back to Friday night as well with Paul Heyman. Exact same thing happens, right? Both of them come out and in their segments, and they what they're doing is they're giving off something that's going to happen next week, right? Now, keep in mind, they're overseas. They're in Belgium last week, right? Like, keep in mind that these folks never get WWE. They don't ever get WWE over there. So when they do, they're all about what's happening on their show in their town that night. They don't want to hear what's happening down the street in another city or another country, you know, next week. They don't want to hear that. Or Friday on SmackDown. Like, they're not trying to hear all that noise. Like, they want this show. This show right here is what they're concerned with. So Heyman last Friday comes out and talks about Roman not being there, but Roman will be here next Friday. Well, guess what? They're not there next Friday. They're in another country somewhere else over there. So automatically, like, Heyman's getting booed, and I'm laughing because I'm like, yeah, that was stupid. They didn't put any thought into that, like, at all, or just didn't care, kind of how I opened up today. They just don't care. They don't care about you because they're going to get paid anyway. You're going to buy tickets to the show. You're going to buy their merchandise. You're going to buy their merchandise. Like, you're good. They're good. They don't care about you. They don't care about putting on a good show. So Seth Rollins pretty much does the same thing last night. Comes out there and, you know, pretty much says, yeah, these guys aren't here tonight, but, you know, Friday, CM Punk and Roman are going to be there Friday in Italy. So I'm thinking about going down there too. You think these people want to hear that crap? Immediate boos. Immediate boos. And I'm like, he deserves every bit of this crap. Like, you talk about bringing the crowd down. The crowd has saved this show up to this point, in my opinion. And y'all just take dumps on them no matter where you go over there. It's like, I understand what you're doing. You're trying to throw something out there for the next show, promote the next show. But you're killing the crowd in that country and in that city while you're there. Like, stop doing that. Are you going to do this Friday night too, when you're in Italy? I don't know where they are on Monday. I'm not looking at it because believe me, I'm falling away from this crap, dude. I told my son last night, I think I might be done. I might be getting on the channel in the morning and telling everybody goodbye. I'm not doing that. Sorry, y'all are stuck with me. But I'm telling you right now, super duper not okay with that last night. Again, the Seth Rollins segment, I mean, look, man, I'm so over the bad writing. I'm so over the wrestling versus the ads has gotten ridiculous. Like, I mean, minimal wrestling happens anymore, man. Minimal wrestling. The ads have just gotten ridiculous. I mean, and they cut the commercial in the middle of matches. And, I mean, I know they've done that for quite a while now. I don't think that was a huge thing with Vince McMahon. But, I mean, guys, I'm not a Triple H fan. I'm not. And I'm not gonna pretend I am. I'm on this channel, you're gonna get me real. I'm real. You're not gonna like a lot of crap I say, and that's fine. Like I said at the beginning today, and that's fine. If you don't like it, I don't really care. I'm gonna come on here the next day and I'm gonna talk about it some more. I want your opinions, and if you disagree with me, then fine. I don't care. I'm not gonna get angry about it. It's not worth it. You're entitled to your opinion. I'm entitled to mine. It's the country we live in. We're able to do that. But don't castrate anybody else that comes on here and has a different opinion than you. Don't do that. Not here, not on this channel. Everybody's entitled to say what they want to say. I don't care. Everybody is entitled to feel how they want to feel, and that's totally okay. Just respect that. That's all I'm saying. Respect that. And respect the fact that this is awful. And we cannot sit back and be okay with this. I'm not going to sit here and pretend. You know, I know plenty of people that watch wrestling that just kind of, oh, well, that was good. The comments I'm reading last night on different channels, different social media. You know, people were okay with the show last night. And they were like, you know, it had a couple of duds, but it was great. And I'm like, great. I would never say great when it involves any of these shows. We had, back at the first of the month, we had a really good SmackDown, a really good PLE, and I followed it up with a really good Monday. But I can't, outside of those three, I can't say great about anything else I've seen over the last year, going back to last year's WrestleMania. I mean, you may have had a good show here and there, but I wouldn't put the word great with anything I've seen out of WWE over the last year. I just wouldn't. They've had good shows. They've had solid shows. But great, not so much. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm just being too hard. I don't know. I know I don't like what I'm watching right now. And I know after watching last night, those three segments that I talked about in particular, there's a few other things on the show. Like I said, not everything was awful. Now, 98% of it was. But there was a couple of good things that happened in the show. I'm actually interested to see what happens with this Judgment Day thing. You know, it looks like Dom is trying to bring in what turns out to be Penta, which is kind of confusing, in the Judgment Day. I don't know what's going to happen with that, but I'm paying attention. I'm watching. I was hoping it'd be Logan Paul, but I think Logan Paul, honestly, is too big for Judgment Day. Could be Karrion Kross, I thought, maybe. Bring him in, even to replace Finn, because I do think that Dom's going to end up kicking Finn out, which is kind of crazy. Who would ever thought that was going to happen? But I mean, you know, here we are, and last night was exhausting, and I'm glad it's over. We can move on to Friday and see what SmackDown brings us. I just know it seems like the closer we get to WrestleMania, the more I don't care. And I've just got to, this is a me thing, I've got to lower expectations because I've kept them up here this entire time. And when the Cena heel turn thing happened, I erased them. And that was a mistake on my part. I've got to keep in mind and remember that at the end of the day, these idiots only care about money. They do not care about putting on a good show. That's facts. That is fact. And then you disagree with me, go back and watch a year's worth of wrestling on WWE. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. And if you can't do it, get somebody else to do it. Because I'm telling you right now, man, the writing on these shows is awful. The storylines are awful. The long-term booking is not good. Some of the time, the long-term booking works. Okay? And then other times, they do not. And every time Triple H has something golden in his hand, and this is what I got upset about last night. You know, every time he has something golden in his hand, the heel turn, golden, in his hand, he just drops it. Drops it. Wyatt 6, you're bringing this back in honor of Bray Wyatt. I mean, Bray Wyatt. And just dropped it. Dropped it. Like a bad habit. Dropped it. For what? Like, even if there's somebody hurt in the group, which I have heard in the past, okay, fine. There's still other members. You can still work something out. There can still be a storyline there with something. Because we're all trying to figure out what the heck's happening with the Wyatt 6. You had something great. And you just let it slip out of your fingers, man. And I just don't understand. I don't get it. Guys, I'm going to go. I'm almost 20 minutes in. Thank you for hanging out with me, for you guys that stayed with me the whole time. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. And please leave your comments down below. And let me know how you feel about how the hill turn went last night, the follow-up of it. Tell me how you felt. And I look forward to reading them, man. Y'all have a wonderful day. I love you guys, and we'll see you on the next one.